Alright boys, it is now that time of the month where I let you guys know what is going to be coming to the NA version of the game for the month of June, and yes, this is the one that we have been waiting for since the very beginning of the year. We had a couple of ups and downs, a couple of jump scares as to when Lost Belt 6 is going to be coming out, but we do at least know that in like the last little YouTube video update that they did for the NA version, Tucson himself let us know that it is going to be coming out in early June. That is probably going to be either the 5th or the 12th, by the way, because NAFGO does update on Mondays, and I don't know if they mean like early June or just early-ish, with like the 5th or the 12th, but I would expect it to be one of the first 2 weeks of June. Now, this video is once again sponsored by Bai. If you have no idea what Bai is, it is basically like Japanese eBay for people like me that are not in Japan to be able to get access to products that never really release over here in the West. Things like FGO Arcade. Man, I would really like to get my hands on a lot of those cards, but we never got the arcade stuff over here in the West. There's also other products on here that are not just Fate related, even though there are still a ton of Fate figures that we never get over here. If you're like me and you're a huge tokusatsu nerd, you do like your Kamen Riders, your Sentai and all that stuff. That stuff also pretty much never comes over here to the West. So this is a great way to gain access to that and to also support the channel. If you use my link down in the description down below, they've actually upped their promotion. Instead of giving you the 2,000 free yen directly into your account, they're now giving you a 10% off coupon that goes up to a maximum discount of 5,000 yen. So make sure you sign up using my link down in the description down below and make sure that you go ahead and get yourself something nice. I mean, look, you got this nice Castoria figure over here. Could be a nice catalyst for the summons that she's going to be coming back for in Lost Belt 6. But with all that being said, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. I know that some people are a little concerned because we do have this campaign over here, and some people have been wondering, well, because we have this pre-release campaign that's lasting like the entire month, does that mean we're not going to get Lost Belt 6 in June? No, I still think we're going to get this. What this looks like to me is one of those ongoing campaigns that they just go ahead and start and they just let it run for like the entirety of the month, because all you're going to be getting is like a couple of gold apples. You'll be getting 60 million QP, which in conjunction with the 100 million that Morgan gives you in Lost Belt 6 does mean that if you're really broke on QP like myself, you will be getting a nice chunk of QP, although there is an event we should be getting next month as well that should help out with that. But also do know that this is not like the official pre-release campaign, because we should also be seeing a Da Vinci like rider banner over here, unless they're just not going to do it. Not exactly sure about that one, although it might actually be really funny because we've been kind of speculating that we might actually get like Lost Belt 6 on the same day that JP did, just like 2 years later. And so feasibly, they really wanted to, they could drop like the Da Vinci Rider banner like next Monday or something if they really wanted to do something along those lines. That would be wrapping up the Summer 5 rerun, and they could go ahead and drop this, and then if they really wanted to be cheeky, drop Morgan on the 5th. But if they want to do the same release time that we've all been kind of memeing about, they can maybe drop it on like the night of the 11th / the morning of Monday, which would be the 12th for us, which is our update day anyway. But yeah, just wanted to go ahead and talk about this one first because I know a lot of people are probably concerned about this. No, this just looks like one of those banners, not banners, but like one of those campaigns that they throw out there as just like a thing to be in the game where like, oh, just get some apples and get some QP, but it's not like the real pre-release campaign, because we should be getting Da Vinci Rider's banner. Now, when the Avalon Lefay or Lost Belt 6 actually drops, we actually get quite a few nice little goodies. So for one, everybody knows the banners. That's what everybody's excited about. But if you do have Gareth, which you should because she is free, you get her in the friend point gacha, she'll be getting a very strong buff over here. So if you've been one of those people that likes to use Gareth and likes to use your little knight to do some big old damage and tank a lot of hits, she'll be even better because she can actually smack really hard back with these new crits, and the stars does help her out a lot. And just getting kick-started. Your Kucaster will also be looking a little bit nicer. He should be getting an upgrade later on during Lost Belt 6, so it's nice that he looks a little bit better. I already did a video talking about his new upgrade a couple of weeks ago, I believe, so you can go check that out if you want to know how good this guy actually is. You will be getting these for some of the new free quests, but I believe the free quests don't actually drop until Lost Belt 6 is finished in its entirety. But do not fear, if you're trying to level up Morgan, we did have some of these materials available in event shops. Like, I know that I've already double checked that I have enough of these little potion thingies to max out my Morgan as soon as she comes out. So don't fret. If you've been playing some of the past events, you should be fine for these main big bad boys over here. The Morgan banner is going to be finally dropping, and look, I know that I am a huge simp for Morgan. I am extremely biased, and so when I say that Morgan is the best unit in the game, that is me being extremely biased. I think people like Castoria or Koyenskaya or Oberon definitely fight for that position harder, but Morgan still does a lot, right? Really good for farming, really good for more challenging content with her ability to stall through quests pretty much indefinitely. She just does a lot of really strong stuff, like overcharging the NP, providing stars, doing big crits. She has survivability. She just does it all. Then you have Bargus and Sith, who I don't think are quite as good and like live up to the Morgan hype, but you'll still probably use them, right? Bargus is like a very tanky survivability AoE saber. Like, you want to use her and kind of have her stack damage. The longer the fight goes on, theoretically, the better she gets. Bawabon Sith is very similar to the Rider version of Murasaki that's actually out right now on the NA version of the game, where she kind of wants to lock down and control the opponent and kind of handle them in fights that way as a single target quick archer. Regardless, they're not like so bad that you can't make use out of them. They're just like not nuts to butts broken like some of the other servants we're going to be getting, but that does not mean that they are not usable. You could definitely get some value out of Bargus and Sith, and I know a lot of people are still going to use them anyway. They could be, look, these servants could be the worst servants in the game and people would still use them, right? If Morgan was worse than, like, I don't know, Salieri, no, okay, Salieri's not a bad servant. If he was worse than Guile's Saber, I would still use her, right? I would still break her out because Lost Build 6 is a very good read. The story is immensely good. It's broken up into 3 parts, so you know there's just a bunch of meaty content to get into. But this is not the only hype banner that's coming back around. Castoria comes back over here as well, kind of a little bit after Morgan's comes out, because you can see on JP she was here from June 11th to June 25th. On the 25th, Castoria came back for a small little period, so if you did miss out on Castoria for the anniversary, or if you are a newer player, this is another servant that is very, very good to pick up. Like, do not be deceived, that Buster farming is still really good, but Castoria, even if you don't want to use her for like specific arts farming, can be really good in those 90++ nodes, because double Castoria setups lets you give the entire party 60% NP, and that is really strong for some of those setups. Now, you could realistically just do Buster farming, right, and just try to slam your head through it. But I'm trying to tell you, Castoria is not undermined by the release of Koyenskaya in about a month for our anniversary. She's still really, really good, all right? So don't undermine her for that. Like, she's still very much worth going for. And I feel like for a lot of players, it's going to be a lot of picking and choosing what broken servant you want, because you got Morgan, you've got Castoria, you've got Oberon coming out, you got Koyenskaya, you got Melusine. You just have too many good options right on NA. We've gone from like kind of being a little slow to the game just exploding into a nuclear pace. Now, the one thing I do want to go ahead and bring up is that over here you'll see that they are going to kind of replace some of the CEs. We get basically CEs that do the same thing as, like, say, Imaginary Element over here. It's like an Ilia CE, if I'm remembering correctly, and it basically does the exact same thing. Same thing for like K-scopes and stuff. Like, they add a new K-scope that gives you HP instead of attack. So they're adding new CEs is basically what they're doing. So, you know, that's just what that's about if you're kind of wondering, like, what is going on with these CEs, right? But that's pretty much the first beginning part of Lost Belt 6. Then what happens is, because it's broken up into 3 parts, in the middle of this part right here, the part 1 and the second part of Lost Belt 6, which I do not think we'll be getting in the month of June. These are generally about a month apart. Because you're going to have this one, then you're going to have the Nero Fest, which I'll talk about in a second. Then you have this one drop with Melusine, then you have the anniversary, and then finally you close out with the third part that has Oberon on it, because Oberon is not on the GSSR, and I don't think they're going to really push to put part 3 before the anniversary and then put Oberon on the GSSR. So we're still expecting these to generally be about a month apart as far as when these actual parts release. So I wouldn't expect this one, but what we're going to be getting in between and probably towards the mid-end of June is going to be this Nero Fest. So this is kind of like Super Nero Fest, because they kind of took a bunch of them and just smushed them together. And what I mean is, you have like this set of challenge quests. If you never got to do these are a huge throwback. But you also have this set of challenge quests over here. Now, these ones should be really easy for most masters to go through and complete. I could see some people maybe having a little bit of a struggle with them. If it's enough of an issue, I'll probably like double upload on these days where I'll do like my normal daily video, and then I'll be like, here's how you beat Heracles, here's how you beat this one, and I'll probably like daily go through and beat a bunch of these just to kind of show people that you can do it without like a super OP box, because, you know, I don't wail out or anything. My box is pretty decent, but it's not broken, so if I could beat it, you could definitely beat it, right? With me and my 2 brain cells, if we can handle it, then most common FGO players can do it as well. But these ones, I would expect to be a little more challenging, because this is when you start getting like break bars introduced into the game, and they can be like a little less forgiving. But these ones, like, you don't have break bars on any of these. Like, they're very, very easy to do. So you shouldn't really struggle with these that much. But then again, if you can't do them, just bump doing them and go to the lottery, right? Because again, you got a ton of really good servants that are coming out, and you're gonna need EXP cards, QP, you're gonna need cookies, you're gonna need gems. You know what? This is also a really good time to go ahead and just start saving up mana prisms for any of those random CEs you want. This is just a very good lotto to go ahead and stock up on, because it also has really good materials. I mean, pages, dust, proofs are all really good things that I'm in need of, but I also know people that have like Quetzalcoatl that are really hurting for chains, right? Or if you're getting a bunch of like Knight of the Round Table units, you're gonna need your Knight's medals over here. So this is a very, very good lotto, and I'm just so happy that they gave this to us in the middle of Lost Build 6. I think they recognized that they were like, okay, we just tossed out like 4 servants that people might grail, because realistically, these 4 are like some of the most popular servants in the game, right? And they're all like viable grail targets for people. They're gonna need QP, they're gonna need EXP cards, and then right after this, they release Melusine, again, one of the more popular servants in the game, and then right after, they finally released Koyenskaya and then Oberon. Again, 2 more of the most popular servants in the game. It's just a lot of very, very popular servants come around. Now, the banner for this one is not super great. It's just like Brynhildr and Nero Caster. And not to say that like these aren't great servants or anything. Like Brynhildr definitely is getting better as they buff her. And Nero Caster, I think you could get some solid usage out of if you're going to use her during the Buster meta. Like, she could do fine enough damage, has the 50% battery to make her valuable in that meta. So, like, it's a fine banner, but I'd be very hard-pressed to find anybody that's going to summon on this banner over everything else that's happening on the game. If you're going to summon on this banner, let me know in the comments down below, because I find it a very hard sell to go for this one. The only reason that like I might go for it is that like this Nero CE is pretty banging, not gonna lie. But yeah, this is what we're probably going to be getting for the month of June. We're going to get like this pre-release campaign merged with this Da Vinci banner over here. We should be getting these, and then following that, it should be like the main release for Lost Build 6, followed by Nero Fest. And then for the next couple of months, it's going to be like Anniversary plus Lost Belt. It's going to be a very good time to be playing FGO, right? I know we kind of went through a little bit of a slog at the beginning of the year, but things are definitely looking up on the NA version, and they're also looking up on the JP version as well, with them getting a lotto, and then they're probably going to be getting Ordeal Call next. I don't know. Look, Lysengo might be in top gear right now, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're excited for June. I mean, what am I saying? Everybody's excited. I'm gassed up for this. I'm super excited for all this stuff that's going to be coming, because we get great story, great characters, a phenomenal lotto event to follow up on it. If you're someone that loves challenge quests, this is a perfect time for you to test out a bunch of your servants. It's just going to be a very, very fun month. You know, as long as, fingers crossed, I don't think this means they're going to be postponing anything, but again, like, I know some people are worried. I don't think that's what that means. I think we're still getting it at the beginning of June, because that's what they said they were going to do. So, you know, but I don't know. I guess there's like a 0.1% chance that they're like really dumb and they do that, but I highly doubt they're going to do that. I think we're going to have a very, very great month of FGO over here on the NA version of the game. But again, leave a like on the video for that daily FGO content. Your boy's always out here making sure that you are informed on what is going on. Subscribe, because you don't want to miss any of these videos. Your boy is putting out banger content after banger content. And then finally, if you want to see me play FGO live, I do that every weekday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace, late guys.